You are either leading the people or the people are leading you. And when the blind leads the blind, there is a problem with the first blind man. Let me tell you something. America paid too much. I was in Canada and I was driving through a road and I saw two tow booths there. You drive a little bit, there's a tow booth. Another one, there's a tow booth. Sometimes it's electronic. You don't even need to open. Once you pass through that road, it takes you to automatically. You must have a device in your car that automatically deduct. And I asked them why. They say because the road is an investment. I said, what do you mean by investment? They say a private company did the road and they are collecting the toll to pay for the country. So look at the way they did it in the developed country. So in Ghana, somebody can decide that I am doing the Pram road, but government after finish doing the next 80 years, 20 years, if I'm not there, my children must still collect the toll. And that is the way they develop their road. So don't let them lead you. I told them, I said, don't lift people's hopes. This is your fourth republic from Kwame Nkrumah time. No government has come to power new and clap for the previous one. And I know you people, that's why I'm talking to you that way. This Muhammad, that is a Christ now. You used to make him like he's a devil. Now listen, if Muhammad is as good as we are talking now, why didn't we let him continue? But you are dealing with people with short-sightedness. You are dealing with people with short memory, for the better word. Ghanaians are people who can easily forget.
You see, as a woman, I say, on Adom Kasai.
HR, what can I say me, auntie or baby Tracy?
Ome, and that maybe it is a news in another woman. A boat of an army to Wikako, Assembly. And I'm going to that hand over me, young mamma. Yes, my news to be there. My share, or the boy and call. Nemo HR na one nipa ko bi so mo kohwehwe ho HR was say what do you fa news bi ama wo bia
HR so din na share story na me say HR na lead call ye
chanka make I say na ka ma fra HR just HR anyam bia ona wa call inspection akohwe say nema DC say uja ho eni ho na nyama say ne say na mode ma na okoi eni ho nempo nfie bosum na ya ko numini assembly ntimi ko mefiri onyina ntimi ko wa kopem aduada na ya holiday no na HR na nipa ko bi ko ho nempo HR okọ owie no so saka o fe me na me hand over ma assembly no okọ wisa no fe me because this uja nema no ma ye no ya ma ha nembo na ebedu ye nema say ni ha na ka wati be so me side of the story and one say Adom News. Say Adom News so the multimedia and then France and Niger my name bia.
But unim say honorable say baby a wo ka kono say udisi a onye fair to us because story a bo ade ba ye no. Maame no HI a ye kana semi no ni din sha no. Enunti na ye say there be story no kura ye nwie ansa na ya befrew. Ene edi mirika frew say yenye wo angle a balance eti ne ya wo ken no say yetie HR na say ye de wabam because me kura de a me hwe no me free baby a ye gina na mabanchen ma bisa say e ba renovation of baby a DCT a say ban sika na ye de ye.
Yes sir, yes madam Chase.
E bi say dan ya ye hwe pa de honorable we bosumi numunie asase no hwe ye baby a nsuo wo eti adidi mu a
nsuo no
Joe fa hono to so mame if you say toda me say kane no bonwuro papa tibi mu na omunya ya na mu nsiesie ona say minim se bosumi nnum na chiri na dan no luvesi ewomuo ene se ne dan no ho nyina wa isa na hote a tina mpese mi hu say ya ben sika na yedi siesie wa na asesen
mi oba dan a bi jai wo se eno na o picture mi nya hu de se minim beja eda kura omo twa the picture minim ba eda me mi jama assembly eda eye kama ɛna yɛ staff no bi kora ebu nsuo a nsuo a yɛyi issue n'akyi no yɛatwe bi ama wɔn a staff no bi ɛfa small gate no ebu nsuo wɔ hɔ na minim ɛna mo sɛ ebi a nipa bi akɔhyɛ nkɔfo bi akyi na ɛpɛ sɛ egu m'anim ase kɛkɛ ɛdan a me free mu just 5 months na bɛsɛ koraa me da ma sɛ na wosi kan ebituma sɛ to that level a wokan sɛ ne wo hu na wokan yo mbade watuma sɛ and yes na menye sɛ me no wo di akyinye na me haw pa ne sɛ me gidi sɛ obi na menim ne yie because ɛdan a me tra me bua na wo kasa no obɛsra me hoda na ɛwanwa sɛ nneɛma sei ɛkɔ so na yɛde gu nipa bi anim ase
nti sɛnea wo ka no nra wote yɛ a wokɔ assembly hɔ no watimi ne mpanimfo na reconcile amɔmɔ agye atum sɛ nneɛma a wotwerɛ yɛ no ɛyɛ ampa yɛkɔ bibia wɔ hɔ no mu nti sesei wasan wuti anaasɛ na ɛte
ndaba sanka nkɔmɔ no sanka na letter me handi key no ma no ɛna ɔbɔkɔ because of the assembly yɛ wɔhyehyɛ yɛwɔ estate officer yɛwɔ engineer so yɛwɔ auditor so after handing over no I was say auditor no kɔyɛ handing over auditing no ɔfa no mako na neɛ ɔmo sɛ amex no na yɛafrɛ wo ama wɔbi yi ano sɛ ade wei ɔnabo yɛgya ama wo ɛwɔ handing over no to but yɛnhu yi ɛmfa na ɛwɔ na ɛno na no baba because ade ne aban adea ɛyɛ ɔma ne dea ma memfa ɔma yɛ gyapadeɛ a mede kɔ mfie akɔyɛ dade na sɛneɛ nneɛma no ɛsi kɔ no ne kɔmɔ a yɛtete wɔ kyerɛ no kyerɛ sɛ atambere ma mekyɛ sɛ ɛnyɛ official wei ɔmo fa biribiara mbrɛ bi ɛna ɔmo mu saa mehwɛ nti ma meyɛ ɛtin kakra na nka pɛ sɛ menkasa koraa ɔntɔ sɛ wankasa woto wayɛ yiwayibɔne because ama wanka wansɛm so ɛyɛ nsɛm a ɛmboa ɛno nti na mede buo ma yɛ media obi afrɛ ba no makyerɛ me kyerɛ sɛ boo na ɔmo ka biara no mefa no sɛ ɛnyɛ official because assembly no nka nkyerɛ me sɛ bibi a megya wɔ hɔ no ebi ayera ɛde bi na ɔbɛto asɛm ase
ebi a
matewas
mampanyi ba hɔ no na ɔma akwankyerɛ sɛ yɛma n'adumadi anim na yɛntwerɛ wɔne a ɔmo aka no nyinaa ɛdi na yɛhu nipa dodoɔ no na ɔhu mmoa a ɔde bɛma wɔ mo ɛno akyire no na de kyerɛ no a mpanyi aba saa aba bɛhwɛ ma mpanyi ama chief executive officer ɔda masoka no aba waba ɔba ne yɛgu so yɛ registration no a yɛnweyɛ ɛna minister for gender nso aba bɛhwɛ dwumadie no wɔn mu nyinaa regional minister ne adwadifoɔ no nyinaa ne ɔmpanyinfoɔ nyinaa ɛde nkita ho ama ɛnɔma yɛde gugu akora mu yɛde ne nyinaa akyerɛ wɔn mu ɛfiti dwada no bɛka nnɛ yɛnae ahomate koraa mefiri hɔ 4 a.m. ɛna mede bɛɛte yɛsiane sɛ wɔn sɛ ɛfa bɔ sɛ n'akyi hɔ no anyɛ affected nti ɛsi yɛ no wo sɛ kuma se dɛ aha adwuma no yɛ sonkɔ aha yɛne santehene na ɛyɛ adwuma no nti gya no tɔɔyɛ no kuro no yɛ santehene dea yɛbɔ n'amanneɛ wɔno nso tu na no mmɔ mba bɛhwɛ ɛma ɔmo ma yɛ akwankyerɛ ɛde nsusueɛ ahodoɔ a ɔmo nso de bɛboa yɛ a yɛde bɛdi dwuma no a ɛkuo no bɛyɛ kama na ɔmo de boa yɛ nti adwe no nyinaa kosaa sɛ ɛgya no tɔɔyɛ no na fire service wɔn no nya asɛ ɛnkɔ mmeaeɛ hɔ nti baabi a aka na wɔbɔ sɛ sɛ yɛnkreti kwan ntom nti ahomakye yɛgu so a men wɔ hɔ na admo ne tmfɔ ne polifoɔ a yɛgu so a yɛdi saa adwuma no na minister for interior agency sɛ hwɛ ma a ɛgya no yɛdi ne nyinaa sɛ maseɛ no ɔno nso bae ɛme yɛbɔ anaa yɛkɔɛ a ɛyɛ ɔno abɔ mu ntata ɛkyɛ no dwumadin baabi yɛkɔ akokodo ɛma wɔn nso de bodaka gyere ne ɛma wɔn mo ma yɛ ɛmo 1,500 bags anwa 800 cartons ne samna 800 cartons entimi ɛma wɔn hawo nyinaa ɛmbrase nanso abra yɛgu so a yɛsiesie hɔ near Pekwan Pie, Repasso, then pull a bubble hobia, do on the Passo. We are now showing it, maybe a mono so as a name. Na Okufia, what me any agent. Came a critical engineer for Akua Boakyewaa assessment. I share the structural integrity of a diner academy. Or more, and so the contract about a better Yadakoma Special Planning Committee. Celebaya, Uquade, Regional Minister Betty Assembly Malaysia. Na various reports about Nina and what no idea on some tool. Baby or CCC, what they assembling them to the lady, baby or Cebu, what they assembling them to me. Na yedi ebu. Debris need there so far, ya clear by 90%. Akaka kebi. So assembling Mokani Budiakana. Ya per se, when you hurry. One question, and maybe a KJT place, so I hope to see and then pay for Babesebo. Na in female no so or more kind that's what it is. You can see it on your house. Lanka Achia Bosume. Lanka 1 year with the form, and only now.
Na o se eniema no a interior minister de call ye no na no say munyi wei ne amubedi no ofie na akire ye beba abehwe na ne beboa mo wodwa no amudie mu so atumi abebi se na wotwi mu ne etete ye ne se mo de call ye kora adwadifo ne se wo mompe obi a ne niema ahye nyemo ne anwasem eti sa explanation no call e ma adwadifo ne te ase
Equality, Trevor, I can be using the Mutakabai, ye call a good more than 45 minutes war. A meaning in action, who can call fire. The BIA pays to the animal for a boy feeling in my chest house or at the before over passana, a war boss of the hello and on. You know, leaders, no, I'm a bad idea. The man take a crave and baby, yes, I demand. Omasia, you look on going to major method because you know, a man who be somebody or no, and what, but you know, the individual come up, the watch on Paboma. Yes, yes, he said, but been young credit. Say, honorable Muntakano, whatever,
and ye no ye refobia no mujina nche na no
man take a crabby intimate so no media, but the man take a crabby nche
na so o mashia dia na refo
me say man take a crabby no matiom ho mujina nche
aha yo
omo si jama
okay jama mum yo jama de amatiasi because
omoje emfaso eti beka le di umni oni oye hokesa omo ha ya tro woni 136
also omo ya say 500 and saying
136 hokes
136 okay
136 omo di omo na kugu store fe wo no be ni na 1 year Omwaka ya register omo container table so any omo store them no 1484. The second victims are ya register omo and asat bukwada ya wada ne ipia that there no anope omo de bebe yomunya no ya wada ne ipia na bebe asat bukwada na victims are yenya ni na 1621. Adan a store dan kasa a block dan store ma kuma action a 425. Stores no ebi a K media ebi a Cambodia maybe there you are not to ma wanya de before and so edia the SDA and then the IS if you say net di ni na ebi ni categorize o ma obi a truly there don't have the on your the gateway is anyway my fair idea say you really the mass of Monisha Sibia Yebitini Apetica Eddie Ama Akurabia. Na make us say Minister for Gender and the mass of chief executive on buying one to Mbuto Musika MI 100,000 and a contractor being so Fenabadi or Kumasi or somewhere 500,000. Can original minister made the Pona could be account. The defense account to the Almo. And I pay the Yancy on a whole credit upon one of the Watuyanka. One in the city, Bimuya, on the Watuyanka. So, Basai. Now, person of original minister. The original minister, the Manabonamana. Now, also more, also the man. I'm ready for the marriage and Mr. Getting permission. Yes, and also ever yet I'm a bomb.
Tinacha say donations are benyina no enye dwadifo no nko na omo esomu ne wuken as a regional minister kura ani hum bi a wa direct mumia council mo de betum because anopa ye ne kantamanto for de etwetwe nkomo adwadifo ni bi omo ayi a complaints omo de aba na omo de esika na omo de esika mpanimfo so se ye ni mu sika nti we de minister ni wo accounts ni sika ba bia
minister ma omo na ko bi accounts and omo ayi omo leadership nti obi be chen bibia na ye de akwa so omo kan tele de omo ka se be control and omo say debris no de scrap omo no minister ma omo kwan no omo nton and so minister ka so omo ton omo san fa megu account no ma tele be ya omo abi ti dia bobo omo
enti animu ya no say adwadifo yi mo wo baby a mo mo mako
ebi aso do ni kuma se construction of KGPR phase 2 no ini pakra ba be go enti enimani ye kuma se a ebi nya baby a mo adise edumachi ho adise enye edumkuru this area everything is going to everything is Asempa market of space or na one do one numbers more
okay
yes and this is my catch yem pese be na bribi secretary tiasi eno ni pa be jina ho be job no ya ma 300,000 na ma en fi me no echi san kofo no omo ntimi ankojo san kofo na se bo efi me no a omo ntimi ankojo san kofo na esan ye takra ojim ede ensema ehia ehye amanfo etirim person muketi tension wo kuma se back ye amanya somachi ye de ho wo mo na mbi pete ye juma fi be bo somentem se de be ti na mo ma fa ko bi ondim
na wo ken na say omo no say o so omo frafra mu a gina kwanchen hwa for now
sisi kwati trikra bibli yeah I tell you what about bako omo de be oye bako ne ma me ni papa ni na ya ye abusian sisi ka train sanu ike ba ni ya de ma branch ni so ofa ko pompa ni na baby wa ya kwa bisa ya ne ce bukin asala adana kwa da bidin enya manenti efite adwana no efiara no yenyo ya home da ko ga William the Sabia so jinawe da bia ye pentem because ya hene anya no tema ya ntia Asempa di William minister buso ele mampanyi din kita ho di sakadi tani na saya mampanyi ama the advice on legal affairs ma me marry se buaba wa ma ni gender minister ba wa ma maso penya ba be wa ma ni ntia minister aba echo ma penyi wo ewo je di fono e fa assembly tie ma penyi nan kata be be nti ye na ya bi ma penyi ni regional minister e di enkita wo nti ye ta se ye juma no en terms so na ye de o se de ma penyi ni na e ma no e hunu di e da ma ye and na edigu nene ndi ye ho kare tele bokom ti bi anya fa
ansa na ye betumi agada sa data ya o ka ho asemi no animu ya bambo ben na the other markets no because enra so ne ne etete ne se reresi so jama ho so jani bi eyi ni ti wo ho ye protection ben ye de emma se bia dum jadwuma no empanimfo na ombebo nto abo dwahodo no mu ana se bambofo ne ye de wo kode ne ye na animu ya
Yama put before. And also, yes, I make cut is how much 4 o'clock. But of the metro. One day we want to walk up. A John has here and Lenka, fast and the access every month. Lenka, and Yakatesa, in Kenya, in the way there. And then you can is near you. I am perfect a basic, may I homeboy. In I read his meaning access. If we drive for our money, calling baby, I echo. Tietisima on a lady, convoy. Into Behuano, a new better tell. Not yet in a mining cycle.
Enti ye kapa se ni ebetumi aboama ye tusa ha wiase hu se aban yi ba ye mpanimfo ahyase ye de niema egu akwan mu na mampani ewo mu a o directive ne se baby a kwaya ahodo a enwo se amanfo komu abandada no panimfo sensan ye ma ye ka se baby wo ho no ma yetimi kɔ no obi ye nyai na no aba ewo mu a ye se o ye de mantie bi ekɔ nsuo so ye tete won ne ye de wakɔ no omo atumi aboa me atumi asia no kwai enei ne minister Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak de aba ne se baby a yetu galamse wo ho bia presi commander bi o ho no animu ya yen transfer ni free ho ne emfa afoforo nko na afoforo no a ye de wo kɔ no so no obi a wo contract ye bosumi nsia ne ye hwe na galamse nda so kɔ so a ne asa yi wa free ho kwan foforo asan abani enti na mpese mi hu se mo kɔ aprosifo no mo part ben ena o mu play wo mu se ye beka se ye de commander foforo banti ebia na obi ache wo ho yenti wa compromise wo niema bi mu no eno betimi aso ano
okosa na manika antiasiasa na mameti nia oro Muntaka aka no asemode pa asembia mekasa babboa okono pa na date na mekasa makapen se edu baby na fe prosifo ankasa akra
Asempa
uhu se galamse ekono omo ka ho anaso omo nka because bedu baby na fe I to say obi kwatu no oya robbery na prosifo ejira nche na omo check traffic no ma yomen edu baby sana na tie oko baby ti se wasa japa oma bobaria omo check omo niama na galamse fu kukurunum egulon kwan ho ne yetutu baby a eti amra o ye punishable by law betimi akwa fiase wo as opposed to you man and omo yo maduma okodun kwa railway line so ya bobaria ho aye check traffic post for gu ho na sanfan for one so egu ofen no so a omo ye aduma enfo bia edu baby kra no baby ti sa atwoma mponua post for ho no ebi ye hwehwemu no ebi kra wo sanfan eye aduma ama omo omo ye daily sales ni ade ema post for na edu baby a sanfan for no abesua ni abompe for akuafo ho esi ye nyansuo emfa no ye no bae enti no omo babo post for amane se momra mepam sanfan for ni free ofe so na nsuo na nti ni nya bi emfa nya yayi oma anye afi omo akasa de mra ne hye omo nsam a omo kwotete sanfan for no ba ko se sanfan for no ba ko se ne motorbike ayira eno de prosifo owo atwumampo no etimi eba akuafo ho ba nchi omo nyina kogu me bidam 3 days na no obusa ho se prosifo no omo ka okon no ho ana se omo ka ho na me sha me hu se ebi atna baby fako so many years oma trauma shi mo ne galamse fu na ebo ebi kura kodi sika o galamse site no me ade ayenim safa safa
Modo, Sinyama Iwasafa Isizo Saba Avulamo Aniteleniko Kelize Wemaya Kana Osafa Sapel Isizo Sinyama Iwasafa Isizo Saba Alamula Aniteleniko Kelize Wemaya Wamodo
Adeshe ne so domfo no adom yen akyeye da foforo ye wo foso obusumi no munakan ne ne toso mako dumienu na odomfo no de adom ya fimpinu ne aduonu enum ebra so se ye de kukurantumi dwumadie ebre wadama anopai se wafidie eda ha se ya na na wotwi nsemo a akoso ewo oman Ghana mu ene so ebi aba ne ye de kɔ na wotwi no awieye ene ne aba ene ye de ebrewo etuti omayimu a na wotwi nsemo a woti ye nyina ne ene foforo a abeba ne ye kan bomu ne ye de abrewo na ka na wotwi so nsemo a efirimu ba ye de a ebebre ene ba ye kan bebre ba ye a ebi ene se ene yi yese yanyina munkani ato ene nsuo to no entumu aba entumu aba eti yesei enkani ato se wokoto nkani ano adodo a woto no empanimfo kyese da bi ogya ne saa dada no a enyeye entumu aba eti ene yanyina munkani ato no ye electricity ebo no a yetua no tariff increment aba no ese electricity no ohanche mu du na ye chipo ediosom enum ye 14.75 ena empanimfo ede atoso ena yeba ensuo so a eno so ye 4.02% ena chese eyentumu a aba eti efri eneyi kro no se wo koto enyinamunkani anyinamahoden no a dodo a woto no entumu a aba no enyinamunkani no eno eto a abeto so eye 14.75% ena nsuo no 4.02% na empanimfo kiremu se eniema a wagina so ede santumu aba no increment no omode aba no omama reasons ni enti a entumu no aba making Public Utility Regulatory Commission PURC mpanimfo ene omoso omagina mu ahwe ama santumu aba eniema omobobo so ni bie no eye cedi ne dollar no so cedi ne dollar no ewom empanimfo say they say sa wo hwe ba bi a dollar no di cedi no ekro no a na ehu akohia se entumu no ba kono no ni edi ho no mu so bio ya wogina so ama saa entumu yi aba no omo chese sebeyo na woni a bua yen service providers na dwuma a omo ye no mbetumi aye ni yie ye kan service providers no a na se ECG ene Ghana Water Company Limited omo a omo hwe eboa ema yenya nsupa enom no omo gina anema nan so omo se beyo na sa adwumakuo yi omo so beye adwuma no a omo ho be hare won cost of fuel chese fam wo omo de eyo omo adwuma enkanka ne yenyinam nkane ade no fam wo omo de eyo omo adwuma no omo si mainly natural gas electricity production no cost of fuel no akosoro ena inflation so eka ho cost of fuel inflation ena cedi to dollar eno so ka ho saa ne emayi ena o mahweso a chese yede ato enyinam nkani ato ene ensuo to mu ewo man Ghana mu PIC for o mama ne bo eno no ena na awotwi mu so sa wote ya IGP anase o mayi prosidom so sahene entawanta we yi ni ti ewo boko ene ne mpotamu chese enipa bi a waka wo ho dendenden tutuo party se niye chese ye gina akono tutua tumi tutuo kobo IGP kaya omode ko ye so emu na before IGP be ko kura de na chese buo IGP ko ye bo hye ya chese wode ekọ asam no ewi ekire omu mpanifo se na o nkire mu fufura ba nkire mu aba IGP se enye mmabu na wo bokonko se mmabu na wo boko no omumfa tuo ni nto ho na promise omo se recruitment ombe ye wo prosi adwuma no mu no omo chefa be ye bebre na akofa nchi no wase waba na awatwi mu se ye de prosi adwuma se ye de wuwura mu ekọ nipa bi bo se munya ne ye moye na yemfa mu prosi adwuma mu a na de so na ye hwa afa nipa no because ye ka se ye fawo ewo omayi ye bambo adwuma no mu a ye wo niema ye hwe so e de fa nipa no ye wo niema a wo be fam ansa na yatumi afawo enti ye bi ni se wa anya tutu asem a ye nim se ye cheke wo be ko ye security ye adwuma no mu a ye cheke o background e hwe se wunni criminal record biya de ba yetumi ka kire wo bi se wo se wugya ntokwa a wo ko a mugya ntokwa a mo ko na ye be fa mbambo adwuma no mu enchire mu nu eba no embedimfo nchire mu ye because ye kama ne koye se mudi akode ne gu ho no mu a ye be fa mo ne be wiase na ankoba ne saa wa hwe ye ne so wa asem ede beba na me kura de menyin ni se we ye good promise wo say ye de ma say fatuo to woni em fa security adwuma no mu o mayi say ye fa nipa wa adwuma mu a constitution no me da bia me kama asem a esan say bibia ye wo mayi mu bia ye je ya ho oden efrimra kunni mu nti eye anam ne ye wo constitution no mu na me pesa ye gina so constitution no ma ho kwan say ye beka say ye fa nipakuo bi nko a ewo adwuma biya mu si ye beka say ye fa mode mo nko a ne ye befa mo wo sa adwuma wem na bi ye ni adwuma bi so wo mayi mu a wo hu say a region baako district baako town baako ene ye fa nipa e wo ho no mu nyina wo ho no mu say e bi aboi compensation e de mamo because of we nti me hu bi da se bi wo ba bi dia I'm yet to hear it me masum se mate se ye say half one ko an ya fa wo sa adwuma num national cake ni e cheche enti edu ho no mo na ye advertise say ye be fa nipa wo bambo adwuma mu a ye nim se protocol wo ho ne sa ne man de ba se ye beka say mantem bi mansin bi kuro bi modie ye be fa nipa mabu na wo ha nyina no a mo pese ye fa mo ne ye be fa mu nyina because say mo fa tuo nto ho de minti bi da minti bi da nti se enchiremu ni so onya saa na ye kan no ye kama wo man mu ni nyina saa na e wo se ye kan no saa na ye wo se ye kan no ye kana ye because one to me am fa nipa wo no mu nyina politicians no wayi o mo hyehye bo na mo de mo aye ne ye ba power o mo ankasa supporters ni mpo no eya wote ne ye koso wom na mo hye ye bosam mba mi adwuma na mba mo antumi amaye ebi tumi ya ekoko hajake offices bi se mo ka asem mba mi adwuma ma amaye enti ko promise obi ya wo no wo kontokwa se fatuo ne to ho na memfa wo prosi adwuma no mu enye possible so se ubetumi afa nipa ni nyina because wo kura wo de wano hye bosam nyina mo mra training no mo be ye no kura no bebre niema bi be disqualify wo mo wapom din mu e wo se okoye medical asem yehu se wo qualify wo betumi aye ye gina ye na so no hwere be se wo kura enye nipa nyina na etumi ye enti so okasa ye befa we no ye promise a wa ma na ehu se close wo hu nie se wo to me pass through timi ye boye a wo ko ka chen se befa mo na ebdu ho no antumi amfa no a we nye promise am gidi se eboa se ye ka se fatuo to ho na ye se emra ewo mayimu se nie nipa no ye ne nye na wo se ye che no wo se ye che no me enko me ma promise bi e be wi ase no antumi anye na eno so e wasem foforo ye de eba na wotwi asem ba ku eto odwa eno no ye reporters a omowo amentifido boko ene ne mpotemu ebe twetwe nkomodin ahwe se ne komye aba ho no kakra ye nim se empanimfo na watwi kafi wo mo de to so ewo ho se beyo na eniema nyinsemu enti bre wo se omoda ene ho ntoto ya hodo no empanimfo eyesa anhyehe no ye bebo modin ye reporters wo region ho ne ye ne wa twetwe enkomo ne ahwe ne ebekoso ewo ho wo de ne to nchen so a so afo hwe o meye fisemba mboso so editu dwa se sei woni a wo firam no ne na wo betun sase mu sade ne namra kwan so ewo mayimu no se ye che woni a ye do ombe ko mo mayimu enke ye do ko mayimu no enke ye si ye bepam mo se ne wu ye anya de se beboa yen eti ko mayimu na emum se ne mra ne kan ye di so no eno ni asem ene so ede ho ye ba na awotwi mu alaji muntaka mubarak so ne wode etro ye ni mu na awotwi efa kwan ya mpanimfo fa so se galamse kon no enye ministry ba ko enti omo ehwe odomankwa bobere atwi ehu ahia so omo ti nipa gu mu munhwe we no nti ye ministry so wo wafa mu de ne omo ye ede aboa eti ni omo so edebre ye na awotwi eno no ensemu a na awotwi esi ye bi eno no na dom kuma ewo mra hye bedwam so omo de oma no atumu na awotwi efa ne ekoso ewo boko no sempanimfo enhwe na omo mfo omo nan ensi fom na omo nso saa hawia no omo nso ano kwan ombefa so atumi asomu ama eniema atumi akoso no mpanimfo ewo mayimu enye no entem so ahohere so na eniema entumi enko yie abusia enche yebekọ ahoma so na interviews ahoro ye womo ye de abremo ne aka wose ye de ebabia so no yetumi de amamo ewo Kukurantumi dwumadie eso yedem live ewo Facebook and YouTube nti wadwenkyere ubetumi de bi afa honomo na yetumi de abrew ebre ya esemu na wotwetwa mu se obeka ye Kukurantumi dwumadie ya so na medeto manimu se na wotwe a na ye besimu no so afọ hwam no ne nsem so echese wone eye US am sini yu owo man Ghana mu ebehia na eye eto ya US mampani Donald Trump ekukuru ede ato aman bi so a Ghana ka ho bie ebibi man Europe ene China Asia mpotem wono mo eto ya wakukuru di ato wo so fa dwadie hu no wone so US anam sini betwetwe nkomo ne abisa ne entia sa increment no Ghana 10% ye de aboye amika na watwetwa mu se obi nu wode ne man ena wo so niema se wo bekwa akodi dwa wo ho ena ono ahye ne mra se sei ena mpese mekono nti nneema mienu ida say ye de ye nneema beko ye mfa nko ana China for omo retaliation oma ye say ye so ene ye so ye kukuru bi di atom so bam so so wo sa ahoden no a na so atu bi amane omo na emom ye koye nhyiamu no koye de na ebefiri mu aba na omo koye na watwe omunya koye ma me ne se Ghana kora de ye tiye ye ka amanya ye tiye 10% no ye kora ye de no eye no because na watwe make can say ono no obetumi a overturn ne Trump kan ye no obetumi atena wo mayi mu aka say papa ne say wo hanche mudu no de atom so no mete so anase me ne no ekodidie nkomo enya de say ewo no owura ho ba bia eyeyi ti reply no de ma ye no eno anam de ma mu o say ye kura de yeti eye abushia me yankwa womaso na ye ne minu abema abe sorry entwetwe nkomo apa East region ye correspondent yo wo ho no mo ye ne ntwetwe nkomo na ye hwe region ho boko ne esi ho na awotwe ne akoso. Hello Albert.
Good morning.
Good morning Albert.
Good morning.
I hope you are doing okay.
Yes, I'm fine.
Give us an update of what went on this week in Boko.
Okay, so on Wednesday there was a misunderstanding between the police and some Kusasi youth because the Kusasi youth were alleging that the police were escorting women from the Mampusi faction, which they are involved in the conflict with, into their market. Because of the conflict, they haven't been trading together for some time now. So they each have their own markets in their territory. But these youth were saying that for some time now, some of the Mampusi women have been coming to their market, and the police have been escorting them to do that. The police tell a different story. They say that, yes, the women come to the market, but they were not escorting them into the market. What they were doing was to prevent some youth who were trying to attack the women from doing so, because the market is not too far from the police station. So the police couldn't stand by and watch these youth attack the women, even though, yes, they don't want the women in their market. So there was a misunderstanding. In the process, some gunshots were fired. The youth say that the police didn't, they were not armed, and the police fired at them. The police say that some of the youth were hiding somewhere and fired at them when they were trying to, bring order in the market. And so they also had to return fire. So in the process, one person lost his life. One of the youth leaders of the Kusasis was killed in the process. There were also injuries to some 3 people. So later that afternoon, the youth who were not happy about what the police had done went on rampage. They attacked several schools. One of them, the house president of the Bawku divisional police commander.
Hello, Albert.
And they burnt the house.
Hello, Albert.
They also, yes,
hello.
Yes.
Hello, Albert. The line is breaking. Can you turn around a little? Hello.
Okay.
Hello. Hello. Kwa kusan fair Albert bio na homa no mu enye ni ntumi ene no ento aso abusia ye nsentwe ni owo eye amantifia po ye mantem ene ene no twetwem komo abe sorry na oche yemu ni esi ewo boko ni enam so e manta wantawa no e ba esese na aye mpreto so otie ni e wo ka no a we si mintutuo eso etu ato eti yɛbɔ mmɔden na Albert atumi ama yɛhu ata sɛ IGP ɛkɔ hɔ no mo na efiri mu aba na yɛtumi de atoa so wadwenkyerɛ ɔba Facebook anaasɛ YouTube a Asempa 94.7 FM ubetumi de adwenkyerɛ no bi ato. Hello Albert.
Yes, hello.
Yes, it's okay now. You can continue.
Okay, so as I was saying, they burnt the house of the Bawku Divisional Police Commander. Mm-hmm. They also attacked some other houses which were being used as residents for some of the police officers who have been posted to Bawku. They call these houses barracks, but they are actually residents, homes that belong to private people who give these houses out for the police to use. So they attacked these houses, they burnt some of them down. They continued with this rampage. In fact, that evening they also, the Regional Security Council had to review the curfew in the area because at the time the curfew usually started at 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. the next morning. But that night they had to quickly review the curfew to start at 6 p.m. to prevent the youth from getting the opportunity to carry out further attacks. But nonetheless, in the outskirts, in the neighboring districts like Pusiga, Garu, Zebila, Binduri, they carried out attacks there. They destroyed police checkpoints, destroying the barricades. Sometimes they actually destroyed the small cubicles that the police officers usually sit in at the checkpoint. Some of them were also burnt. This continued the next morning. They were still very angry, particularly because their leader had been killed in the attack. So they went ahead to, they attempted to burn down the house of the Member of Parliament for Bawku Central, Mahama Ayariga. That didn't succeed because they told that police were in the house or near the house, so they were able to prevent them from doing so, despite the fact that they succeeded in setting some fire in the house, which was quickly put out. They also they set fire to a house we are told belongs to the Member of Parliament for Pusiga, Hajaladi Ayamba. It's not her, where she lives. It's a house that belongs to her, but it's been given to some police officers in Bawku to live in. So that house was also attacked. They set fire to it. A few properties were burnt, but the house itself was generally intact because they managed to put out that fire as well. So that's what has been happening, and this is what forced the IGP to visit Bawku yesterday.
Albert, do you have any intel as to why the attention is now being shifted to the Member of Parliament and then the police regional commander? Why they are attacking them now?
Yeah, so it's mainly because for the municipal police commander, as I told you, they are angry at the police because they say they were not armed and the police shot at them and killed one of them and wounded some others. So if you realize all the attacks they were making on the first day were targeted at the police to try and sort of retaliate for what the police had done. For the Member of Parliament, they are accusing him of being the person who, directed the police to escort the women to the market to do their trade. And they feel that he has betrayed them and all of that. So these are some of the things that the Kusasi youth have been saying, and that is why they started carrying out the attacks. For Hajia Ladi's house, as I said, that house is being used by some police officers. So again, the targets were the police officers who live in that house, and that is why they attacked.
Has there been any arrest now?
We haven't heard of any arrests. Yes, so as far as I can tell, they haven't arrested anyone yet.
The promise by the IGP to recruit more youth from the area, has it had any impact on what is going on?
Yes, so when the IGP visited, he met the traditional authority at the palace of the Bawku. This is where he used the opportunity to apologize. He told the chief and his elders that they should plead on the youth to calm down and that they should forgive them, the police, for whatever mistakes they may have made in the course of their duty. Then, after meeting the chief in his inner chamber, he came out and also addressed the youth, some of whom were carrying placards with inscriptions and, expressing their grievances. So this was where he told them that, again, he apologized for what had happened and told them that the police is still willing to work with them to perform their duties, and that he was going to be in the region for 3 days. And so if he doesn't hear gunshots from yesterday, today, and maybe the next day, that will be an indication to him that his apology has been accepted, and that will mean that there will no longer be any disturbances. He then said that if they did this, he will also consider, getting some of them recruited into the police service. Later yesterday, he had an interview with us where he explained that it appears his statements on that particular matter had been misunderstood. He wasn't saying that just by laying down their weapons, he will automatically recruit them. Definitely, they will go through the usual police recruitment processes. And also, he was saying this because he feels that for some time now, recruitment into the police service has been done in the capital and sometimes in Kumasi and the bigger cities. But his idea is that in subsequent recruitments, they will try to decentralize it and bring it down to the smaller areas like Bawku, so that the youth can get to be part of it. And this will also go a long way to improve on the trust between the police and the youth, so that what happened this week, will reduce, because once they have people of their own as part of the police service, then this will go on to improve on the trust between the people, that is the community, and the police. So this is what he was saying. The day just started. We haven't heard of any disturbances yet. But of course, Bawku is a place where at any time misunderstandings usually could happen. So we cannot say for certain that they have accepted what the IGP said.
And what was the reaction from the youth after this promise?
Yes. So the youth, first it was a spokesperson of the Bawku who spoke. Mm-hmm. They had a lot to say, but the key issues were that they wanted justice for the man who was killed and those who were injured. As I said earlier, they are saying that these youth were not armed when the police shot at them. So they are saying that one of the things they want the IGP to do is to investigate. They actually narrated a very gory story of how he was shot. They say that the guy who was shot was not armed. He was trying to calm down the youth who were agitating, and then one police officer shot him in the leg, And then when he was down, this same officer proceeded to shoot him in the chest when he was not armed. And this is the reason they are angry. And they want the IGP to investigate, to bring that particular police officer to justice.
The IGP's convoy, we heard someone shot at the convoy. Is that one true?
Well, we had left Bawku before we heard stories about this. So because of the crowd yesterday, myself and some of the other reporters who were there, we were not, well, I can't speak for others, but myself, I wasn't close to the IGP's car when he finished addressing the people as he was leaving. So it was later he was in a meeting with some of the Kusasi traditional leaders and some of the youth leaders at the Bawku police station. After he had gone to the Bawku police station to meet the police officers there to speak to them and to motivate them to continue doing their work and not let what has happened discourage them. So it was at this point that we, myself and some other reporters, were called into the room, and they told us that, there's a story going around that his car had been shot, and that it was really nothing had happened. So they just wanted to let us know that. At the time, we hadn't seen any videos of what had really happened. But once she told us that, we took it that way. It was later we saw that videos were circulating that his car had been shot. But by this time, he had already told us that it wasn't really anything. So that's what we know about that.
Albert, from your narration, can we say the promise by the IGP to recruit more youth from the area has not had any positive impact on the conflict going on now, or it's too early to assess the situation?
Yes, it's too early. I mean, sorry, it's barely 24 hours since he was there, so it's too early for us to tell. In fact, he will be going back to some of the areas later today because his plan yesterday was to visit the Pusiga and some other areas where police checkpoints and the police station in Pusiga were attacked. So he intends to visit those places later today, which means that he's still in the town. And as he said, while he's here, he will observe whether the youth will continue to maybe fire guns or, do more disturbances. And that will inform him whether his, words to them had been received well.
Thank you very much, my brother.
You're welcome.
Abusia be sorry ena yatene nka no ne ya nam sini ya wo apayis region ese boko ene ne mpotemu na utie ne e ka ne video a yede atumu a emabuna IGP ya hye wo bose utie a wose na asem no kan ye no ne oka na himfie ho no osan kokochire mu yie se daabi onka ne se mabuna e wo ho nko ena ombefa omo e wo prosi adwuma no mu na efiri tete ono osi ade a wahu ne sa se ye fa prosifo no a ye fa no regional capitals no eti sabiri de we na adwen se ye befa biemu a ode bekofem ya boko eka ho ode beko nkrom ketewa mu nipa e wo ho no mo yetime yibi afiri ho na nyese bi o ka no so se unipa koro firi boko de aba ya ne afa wo obefa ntete mu nhihye ye da ho no ubedi so pepepe se o qualify se bi a medical sa be ye bibi a wo be ye no wo famu a ene ye be fa wo sanchire mu no ene ye hia sanchire mu no ene ye hia ese wo hwe a wo se IGP odi nansa e wo boko ene ne mpotemu wo no mo wa hye mabunu no so ebo asere won so anasem odi ato o manim no chelpa wo mboko omumwa masumwie enkoso o ho monitor situation na we se asumye betumi akoso wo ho eti update bi ebefiri mu aba no yede bema yetiefo ya wotie ye anopai wa Asempa 94.7 FM wa adwenche oba Facebook anase YouTube a ubetumi edibi atowama ya jibre na ya kenkan ede amaw na Sir Prince adwenche yi odi free ayensua no ebeni ose bi wan Mr. Wakache adehye ye wo boko ese Ghana nkoa ne wo man a ye wa yetimu odwene ye ho eti obi ye prasumwie omunya ne ye be ma oman na sumwie atena ho no mo if say issue we ya akoso a ya agboroso ya aginimo enti ka kire won se oman no ayetim ye ni ba bia akoka Ghana man ho omomo amasumwie enko so na chia Chief Julius Debra na say Chief of Staff Sir Prince ayensua no se otonenkra anopai na wachia no oso wadwenche oba Facebook anase YouTuber fabi eto ye bejebre ebresem na yakenkan ede ama Asempa 94.7 FM Kukurantumi dwumadie na yeguso a yede ebrewo no na adazoaba Ebenezer Gomwasimbrofo Community Center eno se wotie free anopai se bi wa ma menamase o birthday no wadi awie yo yate yedase amisko spelele so anyway efri kasoa na eba o se akua esrada obia eprasumwie boko nkancha ade hye ye wo ho no se ye hia sumwie ewo magimu na aban a wote so nhwe se asumwie ebeyi niti ewo boko chia honorable Mevisa Wakumsin incoming National Women Organizer MPP mu emame eju yedase also onkra ya wacho campaign no a masha ase ndende nya semketwa sane mani asi abre tenchen ye campaign no incoming for no ebusia oba Asempa 94.7 FM a Facebook yedem live ho adwenche fabito na yenkenkan emfa emaw master plan Virginia Kentampo osi akua until say ye bejai say ye de boku issue no eye politics no yentumi nsua no efise se wo kogina baabi na wo kase se ne mampani dada ya ne woteso mampani John Dramani Mahama edi tu dwa wa bra ne wonye mampani se ebiri a NDC beba no boku asumwie ba sa wo koka ne seyi a na wo ka samu a amanyowom ene wo power eti ye den na boku issue no asasha ase bio ye besiro bia ma yemfa boku issue no enye amanyosem because ye de ye amanyosem a anhwe ye a yentumi nso ano emmoa manema enye din ewo boku ene ne mpotemu Dr. Eric Kofi Obute head of research ewo Public Utility Regulatory Commission ma menko na mene doc entwetwen enkomo na medical dia to anim se ensuo ene yenyina munkani a entumu aba doc anope mama good morning emra Kukurantumi dwumadie so
Good morning, Pastor Bawku.
adom na so yada sese waje yeso anopai ye frɛ wo a enye bone ye anopai ade chen ye hwɛ report free mo ho no mo aba na yedemu an se ehu behia se free sabri ekono electricity tariffs ne water ye chese ye tumu na ye hwɛ ntumu no a eba ye no se ensuo ye tumu wo de ye ran 14% na water so 4%. Doc edien na mugina so niema nan a mobobo so mabo se fuel ka ho mabobi se inflation e ka ho na cedi to dollar sa niema we no mu kire mu sen na besi sa ntumu yi eso
Yo mi da ti o cho correction kakra o
domi
o se show your tumu 14.75
there be electricity na make nsuo ne de se 4
and show me report
nsuo ne ye 4 to asoma
yo that's it. But the last time I heard that review no last year October 1 na yes I review na yes I say every 3 months there no
the Bay region, they are corrected for 4 factors now, who boss from higher exchange rate, generation between hydro and Asempa, inflation and pricing. It is Anjama and my way. Asisakata, and the Asisatia, or say that 9 years be Empa tariffs. And Tinama tariffs at Asisakata. But Asita, or the tariff a bit near to Akua Boakyewaa, and I said, Coco, and I be the Adam, Akua better. Okay, Anjama and my way.
The last time Asempa from no when?
Oh, yes, it's not tariffs. I think about formed by 4.2% around 2023. But the point is, we are money back formed by 1.52%.
Eti sa uka se sa nneema nyina asesa inflation asesa fuel no entumu na aba ana asesen inflation na kosen ye nti mo calculate ye besi se wo se ye electricity no ye tum 14%, water enya 4%. Die nsachra ye na aba so uka se change aba change ben.
Oh, me that. But also for BB to exchange rate now. You use dollar at the ton amount of money. Now, exchange rate now you use for the last time. I have 15 to be 38 pesos, and I used to do a calculation. Now this time around, we use 15 to be 69 pesos, and I did a calculation. They said there was an under recovery. I just said, yeah, I did more money. I'm going to say the money I did $. I'm good, yeah, I did more money. This time we need to correct it. Now, yeah, excess of the amount to correct for the under recovery now on the year. And to find exchange rate in exchange rate by 2.0%. Now, for the big inflation as well, the the last time 22.27%. This time around, inflation is 22.49%. We mean an average over a 3-month period. And to find exchange rate across the Qatar by 0.96%. Or say policies are area. Now, for the big hydrothermal. And I know the happy insurance issue the funds and the thermal component in here. The last time we used 65%. And hydro, they have 35%. Now this time around, it should 28% from the and 72% from thermal. Now in thermal, your top fan will pure, mostly gas. Gas are the power plant. And you know, so I have corrected the money that I found. It is only and I thought before the increase.
Doc, anyama wabubo no the exact increment na wasa modema consumers na modiama wa muya na say ma taking niema bi into consideration say there be ye de entumu no say ye hwe exchange rate no ye hwe inflation no ye hwe components a wabobo so na ye de ne soro na akono pepepe ma consumers a omuntumi nsom enti e bia ya teso kakra because etoda no mabeka che so October de no ntumu a na e wose ye ba no na ye hwe a ye de ni nyina ma consumers emwa eti ye teso ti enunti this time e wose ye ni say this one mode the exact ntumu no na ama ya na say ma take niema bi into consideration say enunti ye teso kakra say na tie
but you tiani say commission ultimate part na Emma this year China atago because the last time I started from October last year October there was an arrears of 976 million I down the fan count it is 976 million or say if I call the next tariff but over this time round it is 976 million in the counter, but it's a Kabadana,
ebe matter na pursue the brain. In the wisdom of the commissioners, almost only 50% of the 976 million outstanding revenues now, or say utility revenue. Yes, 50% of that infant will into the 50% per NRK will into say a Kadadano end down and by this time we should be paying about 6%, the region about 6% tariff. But a Kadadana abedas from and I came into 50% na the account. And I'm soon a bonus cost to buy 8% in addition to the 6%. It's in a quarter 14.75%. And yes, a commissioner needs to say, young family in a consumers now months. But we have many who can say, which means electricity bill, it's your water bill. Commissioners know so much electricity bill, much water bill. Into consideration our family decision.
It's in say Ghana water ne electricity for no more no. We say toda more the more request ne ba. Na mo ni o matena say dinkita ho an ma ye say bi e be mam say ye be mam say omo ni omo de ba ya na mo gitum wi.
Because there were 2 tariff windows. Bawku a major tariff and a Bawku a minor tariff. The area system a minor tariff and I corrected over a 3-month period. It is time to almost document the home.
Okay.
They almost not anything. They are major tariff major corrective for capital expenses and operational expenses. If you know there, they have to kind of justify why they need so much for their capital expenses.
Okay. Eti we no doc ya cross border na say toda ye nim say industries in any way na wo se ne mutimi say mo de ebekosei na yenom so we ye fie so de ebekosei we say na tie
because we no cross border their lifeline is big channel and one obi a industrial sector to big chair they are cross border.
Edu say ya na ya behia mmoa efi say obi wo ho no mo 100 cedis ye ka lifeline na che say omo no ne ye na ewuwo wo fie wo to be sen ya na wo da lifeline no
yo lifeline no for omo consuming up to 30 kilowatt hours 76 kilowatt hours and the unit of measurement in electricity energy into only 1 unit. The 1 unit, up to 30 units, only lifeliners. Now we a lifeliner. If they only use 1 fan, if there are 3 LED bulbs, 1 TV, I'll be to power for 5 hours a day for 30 days. No, some amount to any lifeliner. No. We be to the first time, we to 67 pesos per unit, higher kilowatt hours. This time around, we are 77 pesos per unit. That's what you are saying. And the empire said, yeah, we took 50 cities earlier from Milstead Aircon based on the increment and adjustment. We did pay 8 cities that town into a Canberra, the Gabe 58 cities. I don't know.
Yet to Asempa to Asef, he said, a new media chingy barber, if we next week kwa 1 here and near bay and say, Minam 200 cedis, say me quam to 200 me say ne fitted me corner 1 here na edinchimura show ebeba. It is any doc washas yeno, yedase, Munye brena munchechimu, ni a 14% noa. It will be 200 assign a beba beka home. Obi 1,000 assign a beba beka ho na nipa wo fom no ati ase na nchi no ahwe bebre na tu atumi atwa na u krei doc say mo he the performance of ECG and Ghana water service or mo provide ma consumers toda na mo de aba we bia eniema nkoyie ebi ekoyie say eniema tesen mo ba bia mote ya mo hwe won say dwumakoi service or mo provide my and mu ne say
but the greater part, there 98%, and after 99% is for generation. It's where the NICO ECG for honor and a distribution company. There 1% and a comma distribution company. But the larger portion of it is going to generation. Now, quality of services, the quality of services is any our kind of performance. You do a benchmark now, they see hope. To a very large extent, you know, say, implementing policies there, the one for quality of service across you.
Na say omu ankani ani dum kakra eno no say eno no say no o mabọ mamane ne ekoso
ani o mabọ mamane na o say e fide na o mo de eduma na fide no eto baby a o so mo ye service na ye obi be friend planned maintenance and unplanned maintenance into planned maintenance ni o mo no say dia in 2 weeks time o be a change of a transformer or baby. You know, the almost no my information there. In 2 weeks' time, I'm going change of this transformer, and I'll be changing line bill, baby. But the unplanned ones, if I'm saying the insurance, now if you are able to do a better line, better line of that, I know there to take up consumers, your power. Now, it's unplanned. And then the only can't say that. If you have to do at all line in community, you can know some of these ones we pardon them, but a banner are there. Almost the room of the aspect. You here among your power on the other side.
Well, can open my menawase, Bibia near Messiah about Hobio, Medase. Abusia, Enia Yati ye Penia. Oko PRC adwumakuo no emu ampanimfo ye wo ho no mo eboa hwema entotoye ekoso no doc edimu akotene doc na ne ya twetwe nkomo a chese ne wo mu nyina nti se wote se efi 3rd May ekro no entumu no aba ne wo mu ani Dr. Eric Kofi Obute on head of research corporate affairs PRC na waboaye no se afin wabie wafidi a yeguso edi Kukurantumi dwumadie ebre wa Asempa 94.7 FM oso wadwenkyere ubetumi edi bi afa ho ama yakenkan edi amao ode okwa adwenkyere no fa bi ebra na yenkenkan emfa emao yeyanso bebo Asempa 94.7 FM say ye Facebook and say YouTube no ye bejebre na yakenkan edi amao na Rafael Nketia de ye ode aba wo se akwie enti empanimfo boardo ya omuwo ECG ya yiwone a containers no ese ayira no yentwa so e wo se yehum papa wo se yehum oblite kome o se happy birthday enkoma police officer Madam Sandra Bafo o se hwi baabi ani o se akua kache ne se ne dedication ene ne service a o provide no efekeke akono o ye adwuma no e ma ne ya akono eti kache ne se nyamenom nyamia ohyira no papa wo adwuma o yesom oman Ghana emu oblite de eno no Rahel o se akua metimi aka kire wo se afinie emfimfini mantem Central Region Ghana water ensuo e friend se ensuo yenya binum 1 year enti increment no mo mfa ma ho obapa Ote asema papa ne kan no baabi a Ghana baabi a no matumu nti Central Region eka ho ebi Masawood Kumase Bantama ose akua Mampani John Dramani Mahama aboni pe woboko anoho ba se asomhie emra wahye wobo se ono na famu de no obeboa ama asomdue atumi akoso ena sane watenchen so a wokan ye se NDC ba power boko asomwie no ya waka ne kire se NDC aba power ya asomwie bekoso enti wo monyire mo ho pa hwe se asomwie bekoso so wose NDC ba boku din enti boku nye din wose akua chia chairman ode ne ho kwaku apia Odin ho chairman ene anopai machi o abana kantamanto osi JP mwachi o na ede na ekoso wo boko we die titile o ansa ne ya tatem no se titile osi atwam kura se sa brei wa wunu a woni ni tikuro ba akoso wu twam wa wuhunu wo wunim ne dan osi mi ko twaja tum me kwa akohye nipa kro atwam sa de no atwam kura celebrity pastor wasi mebe na meba edi emfie dubaako wasi my precious daughter wedi 11 years asane mani asi agye no nyame aya amame enti nne meba na obaidin de sen me pe obaidin my precious daughter you de sen 11 years opening fa akoda ndin bra wate twendin bra na mahwemu me hudin no o chese empire wasane agunu so a wanfa ni din amai enye fendin bra o si nyame nhira no nyame nnom no nyame mfa sede enhye na funum na o se nyame ntutu na namo ensisi yie o ma ni nimdie na o ma anigye enhye na komamu ma o kan we yi a chese asem no ededodo enti fedin no beka ho Thomas Dochedi ayode aba wose akwie mampani dada na na adodam kwa Akufuado ene na bedi akire Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia ene running mate Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe wose omabo mampani John Dramani Mahama abaso say oye fantastic job enti NDC all the way Samu you message enti makai Mystical Saki wasi eno an wo de baaye ne de ya wo de baaye eno no ne messenger onso de aba betumu eno no message bi ayira ebi ayira ebi ayira ma menhwehwe se mehu a entry pina man wasi IGP ase hu kakra woni mu ana ase de no wo ye ne sa no wonye board na adwuma na Ghana for de ahye ne nsa no wonye mo mfa hu enkeka nsem bi a emmoa mamen summarize o message no mawo na oblita asem a wo bisa se galamse no kon na kosisen eni akosie na awatwi mu ne se interior minister se yeche woni a ofira me no ne no a ye de ombekọ omukurum ena na anu so nse na omse water guard so ebeba enti ni akosi ebi eno no ya kosi ebi eno no abusuafa wadwenkyere bra Facebook YouTube na yenkenkan emfama ma menko ahomaso na mene Owura Richard Kumado oye fraud and security consultant entwetwen komo boko issue yi ehu ebi Mr. Kumado anopa ma mo wache emma wakwa abamra Asempa so
anti me da se
boko de
na o message be na yira na o share message
unse toda ubia na ade na enwane se ekohin o
okay
minu abe
me special camera bro na o dey share
ehu hia pa minu abe ma Onel Frances or the message bi ba ya mehwehwe ayira kora me da se se waje yeso anopai na ne ekoso ewo boko ena agya ne fa bambo ho ewo se nkomotwetwen ekoso ebi kwan be pa ne ebetumi afaso na boko enchinuaso sa conflict we yetimi anya lasting solution a enye se bi a ye besomu ne na asan agensemu bio Mr. Kumado
enra obeka ya President Mahama call military academy graduation eno kan say oni the grandfather Santehini Kasaye ena Santehini say by next week obe free what you kwa abrochi and it oba by next week on be start mediation process no ye bompa say the mediation process no cost so kama yetiminya confidence this we are on the right path and one day the conflict will be over. Meaning say mediation for no aya mo adwuma ye no na very slow because slowness is one of their key principles. But someone come who no anya ni ye na mediation bebem na acceptance bebem na understanding beba. We will continue to have the killings of military police and the police people fighting the people. because you know your name say young police for anko pata chieftaincy issue and as a traditional issue and as a culture issue. Now a whole problem you want and to say per se you resolve Bawku conflict here. As a mediation team, you're one of the options. Christian Council, you're one of the options. House of Chiefs, you're one of the options. But I think for now, you did war as a mediation team no more than any of these ones. And now, the president keep on mentioning the Shantini mediation team. Number two, they say you know the IGP Akua Boakyewaa purposely to go and have a feel of what goes on the ground, so that at the front line, the difficulties the men are facing, any number here. The dynamic cancer methodology now you use no, it did not help us. Any the approach in making sure that public safety challenges no na so better no and say no the power. One of the things so or the equipment score in terms of protective vehicles for the law enforcement officers and now what they should do, what they shouldn't do. Then many of the equipment are for some time now they don't have in the front line. But then again, unfortunate even though later he clarifies it, the harm has been done, and the going forward, he will learn from the trouble the media and the social media people gave him. They will take it from there.
Sasamua Oka say IGP Eka promising say youth no emfa etuo no enwu na o promise omo recruitment wo police adwuma no mu ensunsan so ben na ugidi say all chances be say ebetumi di aba
me say communication issue kakra no nyaye because the word he was looking for and I said the intention is clarity, and it's a bad recruitment period now about taking people or giving people the opportunity to serve in the police in particular. Priority. One of the priorities said, don't come to Accra. We will bring the recruitment process to closer to Boga and answer to Bawku. But initially, the real kind of and a creative problem. The difficulty is for some time now, they are using politics to recruit people into the police. And police are political police, there were protocol police, and there were professional police. Unfortunately, professional police, there are not many in the police service. Then again, because of the politics leading the way into, the government is not reaping the dividend of giving people opportunity to serve in the police service. And so what did we do? Mutakabaye as a minister for interior and also a committee to review recruitment into the security agencies, particularly the police. Minimse Miyanke Yohono was aware of this committee and whether the committee has finished its work. Because one of the things the committee was supposed to look out for is the criteria and standardization. And Yohono is aware of criteria and standardization. Say, when you recruit somebody with a negative attitude or with a negative background, it has a tendency of creating so many problems for you. And see, that was a little bit of hinges here and there and the difficulty. Because standardization meeting the criteria doing it properly to ensure that the right people get into the service is important. But so said the way I in the past, it will create a lot of future problems for the service, and that is the difficulty.
Na we no obetimanya impact no say wo bobo niam ebeboa se otumfo de se otumfo bam na nananom esomu sa mediation process no enu betumi aboa sa promise we no even though say waka say you unfortunate but ugidi se no betumi encourage youth ne say ene ma me mfatuo no nto ho na ye mfa me process adwumanum possible.
No, the bigger issue is young ones no munya to no one. Because the type of to no mukita wa no mama anya jumanda omutimito. And to the person ye to ni free war. Now we are not going after the big boys. We are politicians omuto to no komomo. That should be another way. One other way is when you give them security training, form of police move because you want them to lay down the gun and one processes, nature say for some time now what training omo professionally. Omo a professional police for omo nim how to handle all manner of weapons. One share ya or the conflict in Statibio, they are engaging the police. They are not engaging the police as amateurs. They are engaging them as people who are also law enforcement officers. That is the other side of the difficulty we are talking about.
Na true the year working. Nancy, I did be crosso. Bawku de any ye ba nipe kita true na mede AC we say. Say a year say, especially areas as ye mining no ewo honom no. Ye you behwe nipa kitatuo ne de apie ho no mo atuo no ase se nipa de ba bonten with confidence se wo kitatuo to wa yi ase wo to wo nipa mu a onhiro se ye wase ye ne some time ago ye se mampani dada adwene ye kunkofo abre so me kai se ye se ama amnesty wo atuo hye wo ho fabra yenya wo hwe wo de fabra small arms commission for ye jeje yenya bia na sesen because wo kan no ne e wo totuo nakọ eni youth ye kito menyi ni so omkita lances bia no omkita tuo no eso ekita omo kwan ba ne emfa so nyi tuo no free system no
one year ne o kan ye no in other countries and I say in other communities across the globe omo ways of retrieving guns from the people. And one of the ways in your kind, Bimu Wakrom ha importing guns a more legitimate business or my year for many years. And probably time as you say, you better in terms of due diligence. Then number 2, I'm up for talk gun, registration of the gun, your problem. Re-registering the gun, your problem. Renewal, your problem. A papa police better. But above all, say you any two. Punishment, young farm mom, na politics about the CBDI, and she said, one punishment for that. That's the problem. Auntie, this I want to say, one way, and as a conflict with Akua Bawku. When was the last time you hear say they have arrested somebody and prosecute the person publicly?
And only question and your reporter or woho. Abe sorry, maybe no say yachi will be or say yanchi will be.
No, exactly. And what you are doing is you are holding back the hand of the police. Now, police inform him say the military is using them as a body bag because you are law enforcement officers. Once it has come to realization, say the politicians are using us as a body bag. But they are not doing it because why are they not prosecuting the people? And why are they not also fighting? And now we share the IGP koye no cars no they are common. Any speech no my no. IGP has declared Bawku as a war zone. The way I almost call for peacekeeping no can Bosnia or can Liberia and all that. That is the attitude the IGP koye or the koye. And the way I call kasa any vehicles or the common. Now his men are going to act as they are in a war zone. And in the war zone, in a war zone, you have to always be within your camp. In your war zone, you have to be protected against the enemy. And in the war zone, when you attack, you kill. Because that is the only reason you keep the peace. But when you listen to his speech carefully, and I share the caliber of weaponry and as vehicular equipment or the core, that is exactly what it is. And that is what we need to speak the truth. But nobody is speaking true in this country. But that is exactly what is happening. Or your murder, but you say we shouldn't catch them, we shouldn't prosecute them. And yet you say we are keeping the peace. What kind of peace is that? Are we being killed to keep the peace, or we must kill to keep the peace? That is the question the politicians don't want to answer. But Auntie, that is exactly what is happening. So until you do it properly, we'll go around in circle until Asantinians who are able to bring some level of common sense to the heads of these people.
Politicians, say pa dear ne was so year no so be boama Bawku conflict here to etimi atwa say videos are circulate here near mampeni oteso ne e kan ye wabra no wo opposition NDC wo power Bawku ye din ena omososo an na omoti opposition so tugum sa videos no ene mo solve problem no etine say wo kan nananum besom na politicians so de omode namfa dear necessary politicians no yet to help Ibema and they Bawku conflict in the Yetimaswan.
They should have put solid tape by their mouth. Because politicians can be crazy. Once they start speaking or more actions, it has the potential of destabilizing the state. And I was very worried, say politicians start speaking about Bawku publicly by news conference and by whatever it is. The president was giving assurance, opposition was also speaking about Bawku publicly. That is not good. It will divide the people a straight line because I divide the Omudada, the Mampusis and the Kusasis. They have been divided already. And once politicians have come in, NDC, NPP, and see a bit divided in the straight line, and it is one of the things I was always afraid of. By no, I'm sorry, saying you politicians need free idea we move. Now you're banning or more from speaking about it. We'll have a long way to go.
Mr. Kumado, my men now say.
Thank you.
Near would you chat on who here pass politicians no edi omo hu behim na or more the bekeka bi to ti radio so na no ne de be ye emwa ye da se.
Thank you.
Abusia Asempa 94.7 FM ye di Kukurantumi dwumadie na ebreo Mr. Kumado ene no atwetwen enkomo no ono ne de efa bambo eho Bambo security and fraud expert na waboaye no me da say celebrity pastor mo udidin no aba osekua me ba na ye friend no Irene ba happy home school ye Waterma New Town hono eno wonti Irene and no papa che say the kind of message or they aba ehia wasane agu so no nyankopon enyim tum na onye emma no inshansem nko a enane o papa de abase nyankopon inshaw onye okese nyame emma sirie enhye wafunum 11 years nyame enka ho papa from near o papa de abanese o papa pe wasempa nti nyame onka ho na o papa mpa ibon so ontie emma no enye adwuma komense pilatu osiakua yesre bokofo omasumye emra yempese da bia yebete bokudin na ntawantawa enedi akiri sa Thomas Docheso ne wosre eye bokode anu ebi ne osre no ye chese asumye se entimi emra boko ema eniema enkoye Michael Srimsai jata osiakue mesre wada IGP ma oni politicians achi no onke kansem bia emwa oye prosini wonim bambom wonim ne yesese woka ene ne ensese woka ne toda na se wanhweye na wudi amanyofo achi a wobeka samu ebewi ase no na wankasa wugidie ene ne wunim se enye se boa no na chese wakawi se ye fa nipa prosi adwuma no mu a ye fa nipa wonumu eye chese wonni nimdi prosi adwuma no wonnim hu nimdi etuo ne niema nyina hyada tetew na nyu obi ogina akono na ye kofa ne se brabedi prosi ne chese onu ayese huriye moja mpanitimu ohu Srimsai jata ne de ya wode aba eno no ne de wode aba no abusuabere no aso ma menko Adum TV na yemfa na awotwe dwumadie enkoto aso emfi ho emma medase se oje britie ye hwe live o Facebook and YouTube aseda na mdema mo Francis Kwesi Champon osiakua yehia sumwie o yehia sumwie no ahu da ubo ene eguso a ye boyi enim se ye kan ba akomienu nipa ewo hoso bete na omasomu abo amasumwie atumi akoso ewo boko ene ne mpotemu yenko toaso emfi Adum TV so na wotwe dwumadie ena yede etwaso ede amawo medin ede Akua Boakyewaa Yiadom mo frami ABY mejo so producers no eye Dominic Isieboa Kwakutwum Bengazi Techie ena Jowo omahine Kwabna Sante ne Philipos Aibonsu ena be omichidom ema mede dwumadie ebremo abusua munyimfo ne yemfa ensi ya nyamedom ye ne a na wotwe senne ebesan ahia Kwaku na otwe se nani edi Easter wo hu ayo enti ebehia Easter na chiri aha
Asempa FM